Senator Udall, you have the floor.
Senator Whitehouse, good morning. Thank you for that kind introduction. I also want to thank Chairman Leahy and Ranking Member Grassley and the Judiciary Committee for providing a few minutes for me to speak, as well as my wonderful colleague, Senator Bennett. We're here to introduce our nominee to be a federal district court judge for the District of Colorado, Raymond Paul Moore. My belief, and I know Senator Bennett's belief, is that Raymond Moore is exceptionally well qualified to fill this judicial vacancy, and I would urge his confirmation. The President nominated Raymond Moore to fill a vacant seat on the Federal District Court of Colorado, which was recently declared a judicial emergency due to a very heavy caseload. Mr. Moore, who was recommended by a bipartisan judicial selection panel, I know stands ready and able to fill that vacancy. Based in part on Mr. Moore's broad experience as a public defender for Colorado and Wyoming, I will have no doubt that he will serve with distinction. Quite simply, he has the right temperament, commitment to service, and belief in our nation's judicial system, qualities I know that we all look for in a federal judge. Mr. Moore is currently the federal public defender for Colorado and Wyoming, where he has served for nearly 20 years. First, as an assistant federal public defender in the trial unit, where he represented clients charged with federal criminal offenses who could not afford their own legal representation. Today, as the leader of that office, he is responsible for supervising attorneys and managing the operation of that office. Prior to his service at the Public Defender's Office, Mr. Moore spent a total of 10 years with the distinguished Denver-based law firm of Davis, Graham, and Stubbs. During his time in private practice, Mr. Moore worked in general litigation covering a broad range of practice fields, including real estate, water, and oil and gas. He was appointed as partner in 1987. Originally from Boston, Massachusetts, Ray Moore was raised in public housing projects. Ray was able to overcome the adversity and obstacles that he faced in growing up in poverty and excelled academically. He was the first member of his family to attend college, graduating cum laude from Yale, where he met his wife, Renee. Mr. Moore also received his law degree from Yale in 1975. Shortly before graduating from law school, he headed to Denver, where he completed a summer associate position at Davis, Graham, and Stubbs, launching his decades-long connection to Colorado. Mr. Chairman, Senator Bennett and I enlisted a bipartisan judicial selection advisory panel to help us make recommendations to the President for court vacancies in Colorado. Former Colorado Supreme Court Justice Rebecca Corliss, a Republican, co-chaired the advisory committee with Hal Haddon, a prominent Denver lawyer and Democrat. When this process began, we knew that Chief Judge Daniel would take senior status at the beginning of 2013. However, with the quick work of our advisory panel, we were able to make recommendations to the President, and he was able to nominate Mr. Moore nearly 2 months before the vacancy came open. What made that possible was our advisory panel working tirelessly to interview and put forward the most qualified candidates. While we were presented with truly impressive and qualified candidates, it was clear then, it's even clearer now, that Ray Moore will make an excellent judge for Colorado. So I was not surprised when I learned that the American Bar Association unanimously rated Raymond Moore well qualified, their highest rating to serve as a federal district judge. Mr. Chairman, as I mentioned a moment ago, Colorado's Federal District Court was just rated a judicial emergency by the Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts due to its caseload. In addition, the Judicial Conference of the United States recommended the creation of an 8th judgeship on the District Court. Suffice it to say, we need to fill this vacancy, and Ray Moore is the right man for the job. Senator Coons, Senator Grassley, Senator Hirono, I want to thank you and the committee for affording me time this afternoon to introduce Ray Moore.